What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, listen. Roy Jones Jr. was being interviewed, right? He says that Vasily Lomachenko is ranked number 3 on his pound for pound list. Now, he has number 2, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Even if you want to go with Usyk and Fury, okay, that's fine. And everybody has their opinions and they're entitled to it. My thing about what Roy Jones is saying is he contradicts a lot of his own words by even saying this. Simple. Roy Jones has always said things where he based his logic on principles, right? And common sense. Nowadays, he talks with common sense when he wants to about certain things. Now, let me give you an example. Was it Mikushevsky that he was supposed to go and fight? They wanted to put this fight together, and he was saying, I'm not going over there to his country to fight. I got robbed at the Olympics, and the same thing may happen if I go over there and fight him and don't knock him out, right? I'm the A side. Why I got to go to him, right? I'm the champ. So he didn't feel like he needed to go over there and play the B side, like I'm desperate for this fight. I'm the champ. I got something you want. You come to me and get it. Okay. Now, I got the feeling that if it was shoe on the other foot and Haney was in a position of Loma saying, I'm the champ, you come to me, that Roy would take Loma's side. Just for this reason. For people who may have forgotten, Roy Jones had become a citizen, okay, of a legal citizen of Russia. So Roy Jones, he plays both sides. Like he's trying to play neutral or trying to show favoritism to Loma in this situation. And he goes on to call people from Russia his countrymen and all, it's my countrymen. I got this and this and this. And okay, listen. People said Roy Jones ducked this guy. Roy Jones had his own story. No, it wasn't a duck. I had my reason, right? Roy Jones says this is a 50-50 fight. But at the same time, he says what Haney has going for him is his size. He think he might be a little bit too big for him, the same way Teofimo was. Right? That's all. Okay. Teofimo was a little bit too big for George Kambosos too, wasn't he? He got dropped and he got beat. And he didn't even want a rematch. He went straight to 140. Had no plans on rematching against Lomachenko. Now, for him to say Loma is pound for pound, and let me add, he said he will always be on my pound for pound list until he retires, or even after he retires. So wait. Tyson Fury and Usyk are at least the champions, at heavyweight. So he puts them over Devin Haney. He puts Lomachenko over Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. All these guys are undefeated. These guys are champions. Shakur's was undisputed at 130. He's not up and coming. He's a champion. This guy right now is a champion. Okay, he's a championship fighter. He's a world-class fighter. Devin Haney, world-class fighter. Oh, but look, his resume. Listen, stop it. He is undisputed 135 champion, okay? Tank Davis, we already know his skill set is there as well. Now, you put Lomachenko, who has 2 losses, over them. The funny thing is, people like Roy, they talk as if Lomachenko was undefeated, like he didn't actually lose the fight. Look, so with the Lomachenko situation, with what Roy is saying, let me bring something else to y'all attention. Roy Jones saying that he will have Lomachenko on his number 3 on his pound for pound list all the way until he retires. That makes 0 sense. That's his right to do whatever, but that's completely stupid. But here's the thing. Other people have said, oh, but Aries, Even Bob Arum said the same thing. He agrees with Roy. They both agree that Lomachenko, is better than all these other guys. So we just gonna act like he didn't lose to Teofimo, or we gonna blame it on some bullshit excuse about his shoulder or whatever. Okay, well, I'm so glad that y'all brought up Bob Arum. You wanna know why? Because you see, when Bob Arum said, I've seen Ali, I've seen Ray Leonard, I've seen all these guys, Marvin Hagler, I've never seen anything like Floyd Mayweather. This kid is the greatest fighter of all times. Same exact thing that he said about Lomachenko, he said about Floyd first. The same exact words. Only thing different was this time when he said Ray Leonard and Ali, he put Floyd in that picture, right? But of course he's going to say that. That's what Bob Arum does. Okay. Also, in that same conversation, a guy, one of the interviewers said, wait a minute, you skipped a lot of people going back to Ali. He brought up Roy Jones and said, so you think that Lomachenko was better than Roy? Oh yeah, definitely. Roy Jones was a great fighter. Great. But the difference with Roy Jones and Loma, he said Roy Jones fought cab drivers. Roy Jones, he cherry picked. Loma wants to fight everybody. You think Roy Jones would agree with Bob Arum on that? Since you want to talk about what they agree on, do you think Roy Jones would sit there and say, yeah, you got a point there, Bob. I wanted to fight cab drivers and nobodies. So that's really irrelevant. But you saying that just gave me the opportunity to make my point with that. And pretty much, it's just like Floyd Mayweather Sr. saying Oscar De La Hoya won the fight, and people going, even Floyd Sr. said it. You guys forget that him and Floyd, his son, was beefing at the time. Floyd Sr. was actually trained De La Hoya to fight against. Do you guys forget that? So at that point, shit, Floyd Sr. himself will tell you that he would have beat Floyd in the fight right then and there at his age and everything. What does that mean? Okay, since y'all want to say that too, think about this. Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, even admitted that Manny Pacquiao lost the fight to Floyd. There was no robbery, no, not even because, no, Floyd definitely won the fight. Oh, y'all forgot about that, right? So when you want to compare who said what, as if because someone said something, that means that it means something now. People, my thing is, when people talk, you got to understand something, okay? If a person is doing business with different people, or they're trying to sell you something, they sound real different with everything they say. Why? Because it's business, and basically they have a different way of thinking. For someone who is basically has nothing to gain, they're just telling the truth. Like, basically, like for me, let me speak for myself. I have no reason to play favoritism, and I have no reason to lie about anything in life. That's just me. For me to give you guys boxing news, it doesn't matter if I like a fighter more than another or not. Like, for me to tell you a guy, that would be like, imagine me saying Anthony Joshua is, in my opinion, is pound for pound the third best fighter in boxing. How? Do I like Anthony Joshua as a fighter better than Usyk? Absolutely. But he can't beat him, at least right now. So imagine me sitting here saying he can beat Usyk. If he get his shit together, maybe. I feel like if he can go back to what he used to be, yeah. But can he go back to what he used to be? Or can he become better than what he used to be? That's yet to be seen. So, in my opinion, Usyk is a better fighter than AJ. Now, wouldn't I sound stupid sitting here trying to tell you that AJ is pound for pound number 3? I'm going to put him over Usyk, even though Usyk beat him. Now, in this sense, with Roy Jones saying what he said about Lomachenko, look, Lomachenko is a solid fighter. And the thing, understand, this is not about taking credit from Lomachenko as a fighter. This is just being real about comments that's made, and even I don't see Loma the way other people do, but I do think he's a solid fighter. Okay, if Loma was as good as everybody said, he wouldn't have never lost to Teofimo. And it's like people want to act like that fight never happened and just pretend like, oh, Loma's still undefeated. It was a fluke win. Oh, Devin Haney got lucky against Camboso. So listen, I don't care who you think is better. We're going to find out Saturday night, okay? But what I'm saying is, to say that he's better, to put him at number 3, the point of you liking him more has nothing to do with where he actually stands, okay? So I'm not focused on that in terms of like, it's not like what Roy is saying is going to affect the rankings or where they put Loma. Roy is just on the bandwagon, okay, and basically trying to show favoritism to his Russian countrymen, all right? But what I'm saying is, you take a guy, if Roy Jones was in the same position right now as a Tank Davis, a Devin Haney, a Shakur Stevenson, and somebody else made that comment, you imagine what Roy Jones would be saying? How is Loma number 3 on the pound for pound list in boxing? When think about it, you got guys like you got the guys I just named and what they've been doing. Loma lost the fight, disappeared for a while, came back. He had one fight, okay, one fight. If I base him fighting Devin Haney on that last fight, I go with Devin Haney easy. I go with Devin Haney anyway, but I go with him easy. If I'm gonna base him like on that, you're only as good as your last fight. I know that people can change things, they can work on things. What I'm saying, right? If you basing it on that, and I say that because this is what everybody else talks about, how he doesn't knock people out, or he got buzzed by this person. Like we didn't see Linares drop Lomachenko. Every time something happens with one fighter, it's always like they overlook the fighter that they show on favoritism to. So me hearing Roy Jones say what he said, it's just like, Roy, did you lose some brain cells in that last fight you just had, man? Because for him to even make that comment is like, all right, so you take these undefeated fighters who has already accomplished a lot at a young age, and you guys look, Devin Haney's not an up and coming fighter. Okay, people are mistaking popularity or lack of skill. No, look, Shakur Stevenson is not up and coming. You don't unify your fucking division and become undisputed. No, Tank Davis is not up and coming. You know who up and coming is? Jared Anderson. You know, Jerron Boots Ennis. Now, I see the skills in all of these guys, but I feel like Boots is ready. These guys just don't want to give him a shot. Boots is ready. I don't care what none of y'all say. The same way Boots had that fight and this guy ran from Boots and everybody shot him down. See? But with the John Ryder Canelo fight, everything was all, oh, no, Canelo did this and it was a fight. But my point is, people don't want to say, and I don't want to say a fighter looked bad in the fight because it was a tough fight. What I'm saying is, if you look bad in the fight because your opposition was a C-level fighter and you struggled to get rid of him, okay. But he's right in front of you. Boots' opponent was running from him all night long. Okay, he was using footwork initially, and then it got to the point he wasn't even punching. He was just running. No offense whatsoever, just running. Canelo didn't have to look for John Ryder. He was in front of him. See, this is what I'm saying. They shoot him down, but he is an up-and-coming guy. Already got the skills. Keyshawn Davis, he's up and coming. Frank Martin, he's up and coming. Those are up and coming guys. Not Haney, not Shakur Stevenson, not Tank Davis. Okay, not Teofimo Lopez, not a George Kambosos. Those guys already put their thumbprint on this game. Now, how long you reign is going to vary from fighter to fighter. But what Roy Jones is talking about is completely crazy, man. That's his own opinion, that's fine. But what sense does it make he's going to be on my top 3 even until he retires? So basically, what Roy's going to say if he loses is that, well, Lomachenko was older, he wasn't the same. Because if you're saying he's the top 3 even until he retires, to me, to make that make any kind of sense is you trying to say, well, if he was in his prime, he would beat those guys. And you can't sit here and say he's not in his prime. And pretty much, they give Terrence Crawford all the praise. And like I said, Lomachenko and Terrence Crawford is around the same age. Y'all not calling Terrence Crawford old, so let's not start making excuses. But again, you've already seen the excuses flooding in, right? I'm just saying it makes no sense to me what he said at all. and pretty much this is part of what's wrong with boxing, is that old-fashioned mentality of trying to keep the younger fighters down by trying to say they haven't done anything when they're calling out these the guys that's already established. But the established guys is using that same excuse as, oh, he hasn't done anything yet. Well, if he hasn't done anything and he's asking for a fight, but then you go and fight someone that hasn't done anything, but because you choose to take that low risk, high reward, because you are, you have that popularity in boxing that you're getting paid no matter who you fight, you're going to get a big check because you are who you are. Or even for the guys who, just feel like they are at a certain point in their career and they don't want to, risk losing. So by the time, it gets to the point, maybe they can get that one fight that they win and it elevates them. As I said before, with Roy Jones, with all of this, basically saying things good about Lomachenko, for the fact of, if you talk good about Lomachenko, that make the people good with you. If you talk good about Canelo, that make the people good with you. That's all that is. Roy Jones basically has talked and shown too much intelligence in the past to be so naive to think that Lomachenko is really number 3 pound for pound on a boxing list without doing anything. And that's part of even what I was saying in the video before about some guys are chosen and some guys are handpicked. No, Loma is a solid fighter, and we can't take anything away from Loma. We know what Loma can do. But the point of what I'm saying is, you always have something to prove, because for you to say that he's number 3 on your pound for pound list without him even doing anything, well, just saying. That's part of what I'm talking about. You're living off what he's done in the past, not right now. And that's my point. If you go by his last performance, stop it, because that was not his best performance. So either way, just saying, man, give these guys their just due and call it like it is. Now, if he's a favorite of yours, that's fine. But to be on a pound for pound list, no belts, yet you got all these champions, that's just completely wrong. Someone on a pound for pound list over champions that have proven themselves. And the only reason they haven't had certain fights, well, you know how they go with the powers that be. And then 2, a lot of these guys just have this ego. I don't need you. I'm bigger than you. Anyway, Lomachenko beats Devin Haney this Saturday, then I can see that making some sense to him. But as of now, nah. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.